Hello and welcome to another Skyblock tutorial video. This one is going to be on enchanting. The first part I'm going to talk about how you should enchant, the best way to set up your enchanting table, all that good stuff, where to grind XP. And then the second part I'm going to explain every enchantment that they added to Skyblock, which is going to be tedious, but I mean, just get started. So let's start up with how you should set up your enchanting table. I'd recommend level 50 or 52, which would be 25 or 26 books respectively. I took one out because 50 is cheaper. The reason you want to do this amount of books is because level 50 is at the mark between the one below and the max level enchanting for everything. And 52 basically guarantees max level. Level 50, I have noticed that sometimes it is one below the max, but it is almost always the max. So when you put it in, you will almost always get the max of basically every single enchantment there is. Like Smelting Touch, that's 1, that's fine. Fortune 3, easy. Bathe of Arthropods, it's max level. And 50 is way cheaper because levels, as you know, scale up in difficulty to increase. Just kind of set it up like this, and you add the corners, just put it around it. And if you do 50 or 52, you can have a nice enchanting table that's completely open on one side. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. So I'll meet you in the area where you want to go to grind the most XP possible. Alright, welcome to the Deep Caverns. The reason this is the best place to grind for XP is because of the amount of levels you get from the obsidian level mobs. You get a ton of XP from these guys. I think at level 1, the one kill will bring you up to 5 levels. That's kind of ridiculous, and then another kill will bring you up to 8 because it scales up in difficulty. But you kind of get the point. And also, as I said in my first Skyblock tutorial video, you can get tons of money if you put Scavenger on your sword. And if you die, it's okay, because you do not lose levels when you die in Skyblock. You keep them all, so it's not that bad. You can just come back down and keep killing them. And with the speed that you're going to gain levels, like I'm at level 52, that should be really high, and I went from right about in the middle to the like over here, and that's so much XP. There's actually no other place I've found so far that is even close to this. Maybe the magma area, but they're scary. I don't like the magma cubes because they shoot fireballs, and you can't do anything about that. You can't. I mean, it's like the skeletons, but still, they're scary. I don't like them. Alright, so I'm just going to get started naming off all of these enchants. I'm going to start with the ones that are not that I don't provide you with an example of. So, yeah, let's just start. So, the first enchantment, Cubism. It is available on the bow and the sword, and what it does is it increases the amount of damage you do to magma cubes and slimes. It scales up, I think it's 100% at most, but I don't have it. The next enchantment I'm going to go over is Ender Slayer. What this one does is it's the same thing as Cubism, but it's sword only, and it does it for end mobs, so like Enderman and... Yeah, it's kind of useless because I mean, at least not yet, there's no area where they spawn consistently. Next enchantment, Experience. This enchantment is available for swords and tools. I think it only is useful on the pickaxe. What it does is it drops extra and a chance to get an extra experience orb from mining something or killing a mob. Next enchantment, Giant Killer. What this one does is it increases the amount of damage that you do based on how much more health the mob you're fighting has. So like if they have 300 health and you only have 200, you will do more damage. Next enchantment, Impaling. This one is for bow and sword. What it does is it increases the damage you do to squids and guardians. So at this point in time, it is the most useless enchantment. Well, I mean, aside from one other one, but the other one's actually neat. The most useless enchantment right now for weapons, because you literally like... Is there any way to find squids or guardians? I don't know. I don't think so. Next enchantment I'm going to go over is Lethality. What this one does is it reduces the armor of your target by 8% for 8 seconds. I think the percentage is based on the amount of power. Alright, let's get started with the enchantments that I have examples for. So, the first one I'm going to explain is aiming. And what aiming does is when you shoot, depending on how potent the enchantment is, it will home in on the enemy. I think it's 5 blocks with 1 block with each level. But I've noticed that it goes down, so it's not really the most useful enchantment in the world, I think. I'd rather not have it. And another thing it does is it negates the next enchantment I'm going to discuss, which is Pierce, which goes through the first enemy you shoot and does 25% of the damage to the thing behind it. So, because aim shoots it down, if you have aim and Pierce on a bow, which I did in this demonstration or attempt to demonstrate it, it will go down and not go through the other enemy, and therefore the aiming thing makes Pierce useless. And sometimes aim does miss. Just gonna let you know that. Next enchantment is Cleave. What this one does is it's very similar to the Cleaver. When you hit something, there's like a certain radius, and a percentage of the damage that you do will be dealt to the enemies in that radius. So, I mean, it's useful in big groups, but especially in PvP, it's kind of useless. Next enchantment is Execute. What this one does is it increases the damage that you do based on how much damage, like how much health they have left. So the less health they have left, the more damage it will do. Next enchantment, First Strike. This is one of the ones that's notable. It's max 4, not max 5. So you need to keep that in mind. What this one does is the first hit, at least at level 4, the first hit will double the damage. Will do double the damage your sword will normally do. The next one, Critical. What this one does is it scales up. It increases the damage that a critical hit does. I think it's up to 100% as well. Next one is one of the meme enchants, Harvesting. What this one does is that you have a 60-something% chance, if at max level, which is 5, 62% chance at max level to get double crops. Which I have noticed when I was doing it, it stacks with the farming level you have. So you will get 4 wheat sometimes, which I did. So that's pretty cool. Next enchantment, I probably should have grouped the bow enchants together. Infinity Quiver. What this one does is it like replaces Infinity in base game. You have a chance to not shoot your arrow. I think max is 50% chance to not shoot, like not use up an arrow when you shoot. So I think I shot twice and I used 1 arrow. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Lifesteal. This one gives you a certain percent of health back of like the damage you do, if that makes sense. Like you do 30 damage, you'll get 3 health back. But I don't think it's that potent. I think it's only 3%. It's a fairly weak enchantment. Luck. What this one does, this one's very useful. It increases, it's in increments of 5, I think. 5%. Increases the chance for the enemies you're fighting to drop their armor. So this is another thing I used in the money making video. You use this to get tons of armor and then minor armor and then sell it for a bunch of money. And then you're a rich boy. So that's nice. Next enchantment I've got is Magnet. What this one does is it's kind of the same as Experience, but it's for fishing. That's kind of it. That's basically it. That is the extent of Magnet. That's all it does. My favorite enchantment, the best enchantment in the game, Rainbow. You put it on shears, and when you shear sheep, there's a chance for it to drop, or not a chance, it will drop a random wool color. Very good way to fill your entire inventory fast as frick. Next enchantment, another one I mentioned in my video for money making, Scavenger. This one increases the amount of money you get. You get like a flat bonus of money when you kill something that is 1.5% of their max HP. So I am going to go ahead and guess. This is just a guess because I don't have the lower levels. It is 0.5 coins for each level. For each level of the enchantment. Next enchantment, Smelting Touch. Pretty self-explanatory. When you break something that can be smelted, it smelts it. And I'm pretty sure if you break cobblestone, it turns it to stone. And if you break stone, it turns it to cobblestone. It's very epic. Yeah. Next enchantment, one of the useless ones that's cool, Thunderlord. If you hit something 3 times, it will do like a lightning effect that does damage to it and mobs around it. The only problem is you have to hit something 3 times, and it also has to be in a group, which doesn't happen. I had to put it on a regular sword so that I could do it without one-shotting the zombies, because at the lowest amount of damage I can possibly do with my main sword, I 2-shot it. And it has like 10 health after the first shot, or no, 8. So that's kind of not useful. And then the last second to last enchantment, Vampirism. This one does is it gives you HP after you kill something, basically. That's about it. It's not that much. It's only a percent. It's a percent of your health, so the more health you have, it'll stack up. And then the last, and in my opinion, the most useful enchantment that was added is Growth, which gives you HP. Now, I don't know what the levels are for each, what amount of HP you get for each level, because they changed it. It used to be 20 for each level, scaling up to Growth 5, but now it's not. It's depressing. But, it's still useful. It still makes you not die, so that's good. Another noteworthy thing is as I said, they completely removed Infinity. Infinity doesn't exist anymore, and all of the looting and fortune and stuff like that increase a chance to get double. They don't give you 4 leather from 1 cow anymore, which is kind of depressing because most of this is you grinding random resources, but it's fine. It's fine, don't worry about it. Sharpness and efficiency, efficiency doesn't have any tooltips. Sharpness and power and stuff like that increase by a % chance, and then protection has a set just bonus, which is 10 max. So yeah, that's about all the enchantments that were added. Yeah, you should subscribe because I'm enjoying making these videos because I like making tutorial videos, and also for some reason they're doing way better than any other video I've ever made. So yeah, subscribe for more. Again, as I said last time, Darklands music is pretty epic.